Hey guys, welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. So today I have a whip and chat for you guys. If you don't know what whip stands for, it stands for work in progress. What you normally can do during a whip and chat is you can bring out your own whips, or while you're listening along, you can do your chores, drive, just relax, whatever you want. So let's get started, shall we? So I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm doing all right. I had a little bit of a existential crisis this morning, but we'll get through it. The reason being is, as you probably can see, I think what my title is going to be is it's my birthday today. I turned 35. If I can get this post out, it'll be February 1st, so which is my birthday. But if it's on the 2nd or something, it's past. So sorry about that. I actually debated about doing a whip and chat today because I was just like, oh no, I'm 35. Oh no. Oh, by the way, I'm working on Moon Elf. This is the one I'm doing right now solely during whip and chats until I get tired of what I'm working on right now. If you want to go check it out, it's on Instagram. I'll leave the link down below. But yeah, so this morning I was just like, I woke up, I was like, maybe I can get away without any of the kids saying happy birthday to me, and it seemed to go fine until I made a mention to my husband that our neighbor wished me a happy birthday. I was like, oh, because I wasn't used to her like texting me. It was just so early in the morning. Normally she texts me like, after we drop the kids off and stuff like that. So I wasn't really expecting in such an early text. And then that's when my oldest was like, oh, it's your birthday! I forgot! It's February 1st! I'm like, oh gosh, why did I say anything? Which got the twins started, and then I got the whole, how old are you, mommy? From them, and I had to tell them. My oldest, she's all like, oh, she's 32. I'm like, no, don't lie to them. I'm 35. It's fine. It's not a big deal. As much as I gripe about being old, I'm being truthful about the fact about my age. But yeah, I was just like, okay, it's fine. And then I got them all wrangled up into the car today. I was like, all right, come on, let's hurry up. Let's get to school today. And get them in the car. And for some reason, they decided to have the talk to be about my birthday. And they started talking to my husband, saying, you need to take us out after school to get mommy a birthday gift. And he goes, I can't do that. I'm working. And he goes, you guys should have thought of this like weeks ago. And they were all telling them how that they needed help with doing things today. And if we're going to have a cake, if we're going to do any celebration stuff. And my husband's like, you guys should have said something, weeks ago. And I'm just like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not their fault. They get excited because, my oldest, she turns, her birthday's on the 26th. And then, less than a week later, my birthday. I don't say, like, I get pushed to the side because I don't. But I try not to make it as big of a production. And they're not going to remember so quickly. Sometimes they do. There's a few years where it's like, birthday. But I think this was the first year where they actually were like, we need to get mommy a gift. Instead of like, we got to make mommy a birthday card. I'm like, you guys don't need to get me anything. It's fine, It's very sweet, though. They're very sweet. I think that it's just because the twins are a lot older, they're starting to realize, like, birthday equals presents. Well, to them, everything equals presents, honestly, but... So, some of the things I think I want to talk about is my husband did not get his eye procedure last week. The reason being, and I know this is an ongoing saga. So what happened was the Friday before, not this previous Friday, but the Friday before that, he canceled his appointment to go in on Friday because of it was like really windy. There was chance of snow, and of course we living, in the South area, we don't get snow too often, so we don't want to travel if we don't have to because no one salts the roads. There's not really a snow plow, so he canceled it just as a precaution. Excuse me. But they said that even though the woman said that it was meant for his even though the woman said that it was meant for his right eye, it was really a pre-surgery, pre-procedure appointment for his left. And that they didn't really ever pencil him in. He wasn't really ever put into the books. He was literally penciled in the books, like they didn't have him on the computer or anything at all. So that was a little frustrating, but it's supposed to be tomorrow. I'm going to be driving him, so that's going to be fun. Apparently the appointment's at 11:30 now, and they said that due to staffing shortages that there may be a delay, so it might be a longer waiting time. So I hope it's not too late because we gotta go pick up the kids too. And then he just got a phone call from CVS saying that he needs to pick up a prescription, and we found out that the prescription is just like a anti-anxiety med. And he's like, it would have been nice for them to tell me about that. I'm like, well, that's probably why the follow-up, the pre-schedule appointment was supposed to be. But, it'll be fine. I'm going to do my best, take it easy, drive them there, drive them back, get to school, all that. I got this. I hope. I don't like driving, but, it's got to be something that's got to be done. So, and then fun thing, after that, the next day is my dentist appointment. So I got the 3 fillings I'm going to be worked on. Yay! Not yay. But yeah, I got all that stuff, and hopefully that's enough, medical stuff. I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about it, and it's kind of sucky because it's like especially for my husband, he gets so anxious about the upcoming appointment, and it kind of builds up, and then all of a sudden he gets a call or something and it cancels it the day before, and then it's all this weirdly anxiety and stuff like that, and then it's okay, and then we build up again, and then it's okay. So hopefully this is the last time, well, until his right eye, because we got to get both eyes fixed, but hopefully this is the last time he has to get this scheduled. He even talked to me today. He's like, should I just cancel it and schedule again? I'm like, no, we are not canceling this. We are going to get this done. He needs this done. I am tired of him being in so much pain. He's still going to be pain because his right eye still tears, but I want him in less pain, Sorry, I didn't mean to go into a little mini rant there. I'm going to take a sip of soda. I decided to have some Pepsi today to treat myself. Excuse me, my goodness. Although I probably shouldn't drink too much of it because it's very bubbly. Let's see. So, I know, I keep saying that. Let's see. I jinxed myself last week. Right after my whip and chat. So, I don't remember if I said this during my whip and chat or not, but I said, how lucky are we that the kids haven't really gotten sick. We've been doing really well at, not catching anything. No one's getting any type of illness. We only had one major thing, and that was October, November? I don't remember. When my son and I both had bronchitis. Thanks him, he gave that to me. Thank you. Lovely. Well, right after my whip and chat, after I was done, I was in the process of editing, and then I was still rendering the whole thing. I get a phone call. And I'm like, I hate getting a phone call from the nurse. And she's like, hi there. I'm like, hey, she goes, how you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. She goes, until you get a call from me. I'm like, well, it's been a while. She goes, yeah, it has been. So the reason why I got a phone call last Tuesday was my oldest had a severe headache, and it wasn't going away. So I was like, okay, I'll pick her up. If it gets worse. And then, oh my goodness, the nurse kind of made me worried. I'm a worry word. If you haven't found out by now, I panic a lot. I'm not gonna say I'm a hypochondriac, because I don't think I am. But I always assume the worst in everything. A lot of times, so I could be like, I should not go Google. I should not be Dr. Google at all. I mean, like, I could go, oh no, it's it's lupus. But in all seriousness, I go into the office. I'm about to go pick her up. New receptionist. I was like, okay, I never seen that lady before, but I'm about to give her my ID card. Usually nowadays, if I go in, they don't need my ID card anymore because I used to pick up my kids that often. Like at the beginning of the school year, it was just like, hey, just so and so sick, and it's not feeling great. Do you think you can pick him up? And I used to do this all the time. It's just like, it was like boom, 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 boom. So the woman there used to go, like, at the last time I went to pick up the kids, she goes, I know who you are. Don't worry. And I'm like, okay. So this time, this woman I didn't recognize. She didn't recognize me. I'm all prepped to get my ID card out. And then the nurse comes out and she goes, oh, don't worry about her. That's so-and-so's mom. She's coming here to pick up the oldest. And I was like, I still have my ID card out just in case, because, I didn't want to, she might still go, well, I need to see an ID. So anyway, didn't need to do that, which was weird, but whatever. But it just doesn't help. It helps when your oldest comes out and goes, Mommy. I'm like, yeah. I talked to the nurse a bit. But here's why I go into panic mode. Okay. So she and I are talking. She goes, well, I don't think it's anything. But the cases of of what's going on has gone up, especially in the schools, especially in my daughter's school, well, my kid's school. And even though they went down slightly, because of the e-learning days and then all the school absence. So what happened was they had, school off on Martin Luther King Day. They switched one of the teacher holidays on Tuesday. So instead, like in March, it went on a Tuesday. And then we had e-learning on Wednesday, went back to school on Thursday, and then had e-learning again on Friday. So a lot of people were at home. That didn't go to school. So the cases went down, but they're starting to pick back up again since school was in session last week. In-person schooling. So she goes, I don't think it's this, but here's a pamphlet just in case. And I'm like, she goes, in case you want to go get her tested, because now they started doing school testing at certain schools around here. So I was just like, and I'm going, is she hinting something towards me? Is she like trying to be cryptic? Because there was a few times, like last year, she kind of just talked to me like off, saying about how no one was doing a really good job of taking care of their kids or anything like that, and how she's so appreciative of what I've done with our kids. And I was trying to go, is she trying to tell me that maybe that there is a chance of my daughter having it and she can't tell me because they're not allowed to report some stuff anymore? Oh yeah, fun story. I know, mini rant. So like close contact stuff like that kind of changed. So I don't really get any close contact calls anymore, even though my kids tell me that, some of their kids are sick. Some of the kids in their classroom are sick and they've been hanging out with them. I'm I'm not ecstatic about that. So I'm just like, is she trying to tell me that maybe she was a close contact to someone without trying to tell me she's a close contact to someone? So that's how my brain started going, and I'm like, or is it just because she knows that I'm very overprotective and concerned, and I panic easily? I'm like, which way is she going here? Which way? um, we didn't get her tested. We looked at her, and we're like, okay, if this headache does not go away, or if she starts experiencing new stuff, and but my mind went like 1,000 different directions. I'm like, oh no, my youngest, she's starting to get a cold sore. She only gets cold sores whenever she's starting to get sick. They usually appear a day or two before then. And my son, he started having tummy ache problems. Maybe that's, see, this is why I need to stay away from Google. My brain goes 1,000 miles a minute, and then I start panicking. But yeah, I had to take a step back. I had a couple people just tell me to chill out. Thank you, everyone who told me to just chill. And we just kept an eye on her. And I was just like, okay, everything's fine. Everything's great. She went back to school the next day because the nurse told me that if she doesn't develop a fever, she's perfectly okay to go back to school the next day. So that's what we did. We sent her back. So she got to celebrate her birthday with her friends, which was great. But here's what happened the next day. I'm going to take another. So, Wednesday, I'm like, okay, she seems fine enough. I'm going to just go and get I'm going to start doing an unboxing. I'm going to record that, in the morning once everyone goes to school. I'm like, okay, wake up, check up on her. She's still perfectly great. I'm like, awesome. I might actually get some stuff done this week. Besides trying to clean up and being prepped for the party. I was all set to cancel the party if something happened. But instead, my youngest daughter, I go in to wake her up, and she is hot. And this is where I start doing my little panic bit again. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I don't feel good. I don't want to do anything. And I take her temperature. It's in the low 90. It's like 99.6. But she is so upset and miserable. I'm like, yeah, you're staying home. It's fine. Turns out we used the last of the Tylenol for my oldest for her headaches. And I was like, we're out. Oh no. So I messaged my neighbor because my husband went to the store. They were completely cleaned out. That says something, They were completely cleaned out at 3 different stores. So I messaged my neighbor and go, can you please let me borrow your medicine if you have any Tylenol? I'll give it back the next day. Because I ordered some off Amazon. I bit the bullet, and I went to order stuff off of Amazon to just get something here. Because normally what we do, we stockpile. We have 3 kids, so we like to have at least 3 bottles worth. Because usually if one gets sick, it's a domino effect. And it was kind of like a domino effect this whole week, except it was all weird different ones. And so I hope it's not going to be another domino effect coming up, because I'm like, I don't need that. So she was only sick for a day. Her fever disappeared, and she was perfectly okay to go back to school. By the end of the week, we had the in-laws come over on Wednesday as well. Even though she was sick, we all masked up just in case, because but she was already, like happy and giggling and jumping all over the place. I'm like, yeah, she's good now. But then, so like I said, with all that, had those 2 sick. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do any more videos. I got a lot to do. I got things to get ready. And what I mean by that is we were still having the party done this Saturday for my oldest. Yeah, she had a birthday party the week before. This was with the neighbors, and then she was getting a party with her friends. And this is the first time we've ever done something like this. She doesn't really, none of them really get birthday parties, but we wanted to make it special. She's turned 10, so we wanted to make sure she had some fun. I don't think we're gonna do something like this anytime in the future, until the twins are 10, because oh my god, that was nerve-wracking and expensive, and I don't really want to, do all that. I'm glad she had fun though. So what I had to do was clean up the house again. I made cake pops or popsicles. And then we got in pizza. I was cleaning up the house. I was trying to get everything straightened up, make the little gift bags or favor bags, and get everything ready. My husband got balloons. Oh my goodness, it was just it was a good time. She had fun, but man, I kind of realized why she gets some of her new changes that I don't appreciate. I can see where she's learning them from. And one of them, okay, I don't know if this is an attention thing or something, but this person, at first I'm like, is she sick? She's not sick. She's just making random cat throw up noises during the entire party. It's just like, we start talking and it's just like, she just starts making that sound and I'm just like, what the heck? The first few times I swiveled my head to look and she has this grin on her face. I'm like, okay, she's doing it on purpose. So why? And I asked I asked my daughter, does she do this at school? And she goes, no. I'm like, is there something wrong? Is she sick? And I got, no. And I'm like, then what the heck is wrong with her? This same girl, by the way, oh my gosh, she was so rude. I wanted to say something. I wanted to be like, you can get out of this house if you're going to act like that. But I'm trying to be nice and collected for my daughter. But one of the things was, so I brought up the cake pops and she goes, what are cake pops? And then like the rest of the girls were like, you don't know what cake pops are. And they were turning to explain it to her. And I explained what I did and she made the hugest face about it. I'm like, well, you don't have to have it, whatever, right? No big deal. But when I was listing out some activities they could do, I said that they could make some bracelets. And of course she made a face about that. I'm pretty sure she's like thinking it's childish, but here's the thing. I made it like where it's not like, put beads together. It was actually like a really nice bracelet making kit for, teenagers and stuff like that to do, put like actual charms and things like that, together. And I was just like, okay, well, we don't have to do that. I'm like, well, you guys can beat each other with lightsabers. They liked that idea, so that's what they did. And then somehow they did gravitate to go making bracelets. I don't know. And at this point, I'm still waiting on my husband. He's like, still waiting on the pizza to get here. Then they go, I'm bored. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll watch Encanto. Because my daughter was begging to watch it, with her friends. And I'm like, okay. I felt it was weird. One of the things was, her best friend came with her sister. But her parents never told me that her sister was coming. And I wasn't expecting her sister to be coming, to be honest. So I had to make an extra goodie bag just to make sure and that we had everything covered. So I hate that. I hate that they don't tell you like, oh, also, so what happened before when my oldest was like a kindergarten, there was times when she got invited to a party. I'm like, well, is it okay if I bring my twins too? Excuse me. And, usually I got no or yes, because it's, it's a thing. I like to ask beforehand. I feel like that's, something you should do, but I'm not going to get into it. I liked her out of all of them. She was very nice and friendly with the twins. Um, so yeah, I felt sorry for this girl's sister. She was like the oldest out of the whole group. She was a teenager, so um, she's like, I never watched Encanto, and we're like, no, okay, well, let's all get you guys hooked up, and that's what I did. I set them all up. I had them all, ready to go. I turned off. I closed the blinds, to make it all movie theater experience. My husband comes home with the pizza. I stopped the movie for just a second to give everyone their pizza, let everyone eat, gave them their sodas, and what I did was like I bought like not I bought my husband bought bottles instead, like smaller bottles, and that was their drink of choice instead of like buying like 2-liter bottles and pouring in cups, and then cups getting spilled everywhere. Cause and I'm glad I did that because oh my god, I didn't realize tweens, and that's when I think that their age group are so loud and so crazy, and I'm like, surely I had to be that crazy too. But then looking back, I'm like, well, I was introverted and shy, and I didn't hang out with a lot of people, so I don't really have that kind of experience. I'm glad that my daughter has that kind of experience, but oh my god, they're so loud. But anyway, we're going back to this girl that I'm just thinking, why is my kid friends with her? Surely she has some sort of redeeming qualities or something. Because after the Bruno song, she goes, I'm done. Can we turn this movie off? No, because, someone said that they never watched this movie. But my oldest seems to be, so this girl definitely seems to be the leader, and my daughter definitely seems to follow her. And we had a little bit of a talk about how, to make sure you're making the right decisions and things like that. Hopefully things will be fine. But she did turn off she turned off the show, and I was like, okay. They fought around with lightsabers again. One of the girls had to leave, about an hour and a half in to the whole thing. So after she left, I suggested, hey, let's play on the Switch. You guys can play Mario Party. There was enough. There was 4 of them by that point. They could play Mario Party for an hour. And I was just like, hopefully this will, have her stop being bored. No, she was still bored. I'm not going to say I was sad that she left, because I wasn't. I had a big sigh of relief after she left. Excuse me. I've been getting like messages all day. Just more people wishing me happy birthday. I forgot to set my phone on mute, and I realized that mouse sound was probably unpleasant. I'm sorry. I should probably actually set my phone on mute, to be honest. I forgot completely about it. Let's see. There. Now we don't have my phone going off. But yeah, we had that, and then she wanted to go out and play, and I'm like, no, it's 4:00. I'm exhausted. I had to go and clean up the entire place and relax. And after that, it was just like, we didn't watch any Sailor Moon and at all this weekend, which I know bummed her out, but after Saturday, I just wanted to veg out. I was just like, let me just stare at a wall and just do that. I didn't do quite that. I actually did some diamond painting. I listened to my favorite Twitch streamer, and usually he plays Among Us all the time. I still like watching people play Among Us, especially with all the mods and stuff like that. It entertains me because, sorry, I went to take a sip of soda. It entertains me a bit. It's something that I can look up from time to time. I'm listening to him talk. Usually he entertains me, like, so, he's hilarious. The guy I watch, his name's Chilled Chaos, and he cracks me up, man. I tell my husband so much like stuff that he says, and my husband's like, "What the heck? This guy's crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's the whole charm of it." But yeah, I watch this guy. Watch him play Among Us a lot. In fact, I'm probably gonna finish up the FOD from last night. I didn't get to finish watching him play, so as I'm editing, I'll probably be watching that. Because it was kind of fun. I was really getting into it before I had to go to bed. I had to go to sleep. Uh, but let's see. But yeah, I watched him, and then after that, the next few days were just like kind of like I was just trying to get ready for things. I told her that I didn't really feel like watching Sailor Moon on Sunday either. My husband decided to watch a series of unfortunate events with her. And then yesterday, I couldn't do that either because I had a mythic mythic achievement run was supposed to be doing. So I apologized to her. I was actually I did say I was going to watch with her yesterday, but my husband promised her. No, not yesterday. I did promise her Sunday, but my husband promised her a game of checkers and then a series of unfortunate events. So I was like, okay, I'll just go do my nails instead, and that's what I did. And then Monday I was just like, I can't do it, which is why I offered on Sunday. Man, my brain is scrambled, it feels like. So what happened, this is why I'm still saying I jinxed myself about the kids being sick, and I'm going to knock on wood again. There. So yesterday, I'm all set I'm telling myself, okay, it's a brand new week. I'm going to do my whip and chat, get it posted so it's up there first thing in the, for today. And my son, he wakes up. I wake him all up. And it's like, my stomach hurts. His stomach's been hurting on and off the last few weeks. Especially when he eats. We've been chalking it up to heartburn. But today was where he didn't want to eat at all. We're starting to think it is a stomach ulcer. My husband has had a history of having a stomach ulcer. So we're going to go and get him checked out, hopefully soon. In the meantime, he's taken some antacids that's meant for his age group. His older sister took them at his age, so we're giving that to him for the time being until we can see the pediatrician. And that seems to be helping quite a bit. But we're assuming that it's something like that because I'm looking at the symptoms. We're talking about how it only hurts, like really, mostly like in the morning and then like during meals, and it's only for a short burst. It's not like long periods of time. So we're concerned about him. So we're gonna get him checked out. If he has an ulcer, there's ways of taking care of that. If not, the doctor can tell us, what to do if it's just something like what his sisters have gone through. So both his sisters, his oldest and his twin sister, have GERD. So it's like, I want to go in layman's, like, I'm not going to go in like too much of an explanation, but basically, simple terms, really bad acid reflux, even though it's not that. Just let's go really simple terms instead. If you guys don't know what it is, if you want to look up more, you can see all about it. But it was not a fun time when they were babies, because there was just so much crying and screaming with both of them when they were going through their episodes with it, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And like I would have to give them their medicine through drops, and when they were older, give them their antacids that the doctor prescribed. Oh my goodness, it was just it was a nightmare. My oldest hasn't grown out of it completely. She still has periods where it hits her hard, and then there's times where she's completely fine. But my youngest, I haven't seen any other symptoms out of her. I'm just keeping an eye on her. Um, but she's also a very picky eater, so things that she eats doesn't irritate her any, which is why I think that's why she hasn't had much problems, is because of what she eats doesn't bother her. But yeah, so I kept him home yesterday, even though he was mostly fine for the day. But I'm like, also when everyone needs a mental health day, even kids. I usually give my kids a pass every now and then. Especially, my kids don't ask to stay home. They love going to school. They don't tell me that they want to stay home every day. So when my son asks, can he stay home? I'm inclined to let him do it once in a blue moon. So even my oldest, if they, I mean, like all of them, if they just ask, and I know that it's not a big test or anything like that, I'm like, yeah, let's do that. Even with my daughter, she had a headache. When she had that headache last Tuesday, there was a huge test that she had to take that day, and she went in because she apparently had a headache starting in the morning, but thought she could handle it, and went in to take the test, and she knew that she was going to fail, and she was so upset about that. She was telling us that she's sorry that she failed the test. She couldn't concentrate, and I'm like, it doesn't hurt to ask, but maybe you should, ask your teacher if it's okay to retake the test. And explain to her that, she knows that you got sent home. Just explain to her that you couldn't concentrate and you weren't feeling great. And, she might let you retake it. It doesn't hurt. And she did. She was very sweet and let my daughter retake her science test. So she's a little happy about that. She said she did a better job this time. And I'm like, well, that's good. See, and I told you, she retook it the next day. So, and I'm like, see, I told you, it doesn't hurt to ask, the worst they can do is say no. And I was hoping that they wouldn't, because I think I would have sent an email to, say, hey, my daughter has studied for this. It's just, she's a good student. She doesn't cheat. All that fun stuff. And could you, please consider letting her retake the test. Yeah, so if like they ask to stay home, I'm not going to say no if it's something too important and that, they really seem that they need to be home. They want to stay home and they can't handle going to school. I'm like, I'll let them. So maybe that makes me a bad mom, but like I was telling my husband before, I'm like, us adults, we get to call into work and say, hey, I can't come in because there's been times all of us have done that. Even when times when I couldn't afford to, it was just like, I can't do it. I can't work today. I can't. Even though it was like we were both strapped. There's both times like he and I both were like that. Like I have to call in. So I'm like, if adults can do that, why can't kids too? So, let them have a little mental health check as well. Let them refresh. And he was telling me yesterday how he was appreciative of the fact that well, I wouldn't say appreciative, but because he's 6, so that's not the words he used. He really was happy about the fact he got to spend a day without having his sisters around, especially with his siblings accusing him of stuff all the time. So he was just happy to spend time with us and not have so much loud noise, even though he's part of the loud noise. But I didn't say that to him. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you're home too, bud. And he seemed okay for the most part. It just, whenever it was time to eat, his stomach started hurting again. So, and he didn't really want to eat. But today he seemed to be in the better spirits. He ate his peanut butter just peanut butter toast, and was able to go to school. He was able to swallow his antacid today. That was been a struggle too. The last few days he was not able to swallow that pill, and then today he was able to do it like a champ. I'm like, there you go. I'm like, maybe you're remembering your skills of when you had to swallow your thyroid medicine, because he used to take thyroid medicine when he was a baby. That was fun, trying to crumble it up and mixing it into his formula when he was, young, and then like having it like having like a refill every 3 months. Like they gave me like a 3 month prescription. Oh my goodness. And then going in to get his heel pricked. Man, sometimes my kids can be problem kids. Sorry, I don't mean that. They're sweet. It's just, man, sometimes though. Whew. All right, let me see. What's the next one? I know that I'm probably gonna have to cut this short soon. Because I have groceries getting delivered here. My husband didn't feel like going for pickup today, so he wanted to do delivery instead. So I have a feeling that they're going to be coming anytime soon, and I'm like trying to make sure I'm not still doing this, but they might. I don't know. But yeah. So let's see. I think I covered mostly everything. I got them back to school yesterday. Not yesterday. All of them except my son. They're all in today. Oh my goodness. And then I don't know what they want to do today. When I pick them up. I thought it was weird though. I got told that my kid had to do her homework. My youngest, we've been doing her homework every week, and we had no homework in her folder. I'm like, the teacher's been doing this a lot lately. Like, doesn't put the homework there, even though it says needs to be done, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'll put it in later. So I was fully expecting to start doing homework with her, and no, that's not going to happen until she gets home today. And I'm just like, I don't want to work on homework on my birthday. I want to just go back in bed and just think about what I've done in my life. And then my stomach's growling. I realized I haven't even ate. What I literally did today was after we dropped the kids off, I went right back to bed. I had an alarm set, and my alarm didn't go off. I woke up way too late. And then I was just like, at that point, I was just kind of like, do I even want to do a whip and chat? Do I even want to deal with this? Oh my God, I'm 35. What have I done with my life? Oh no. Oh no. Like that. Because I was just starting to kind of just questioning myself. I was like, oh no. I don't even have a license. I'm still got my driver's permit. I'm 35 years old. I'm a stay-at-home mom. What am I doing? I mean, like, I joke about it now, like, a few hours later, but at the time, I was just, like, really, like, oh my gosh, like, this morning. Still kind of am, honestly. I don't really have much on the gaming aspect because we haven't started gaming, like, haven't really started playing up again. Yeah, I've been playing a couple of, I played yesterday with my friends, but it was just an achievement run. It went well. It went mostly smooth until the last dungeon, and then that dungeon just killed me. I couldn't do it again. But we're gonna do it again next week, and I don't want to do it. But I don't know when the new patch is going to start. There's so much stuff that's been going on. I'm excited about the fact that they're doing cross factions, so that means Alliance and Horde and WoW will get to start playing together during instances and raids, and I'm just like, yes, because this is something we've been all asking for. And I've been just like wanting that to happen, because right now I play a Void Elf. I've been kind of wanting to play a Blood Elf, but I haven't been able to do that because Horde and I'm Alliance, but that might actually happen now. I don't know. My guild leader says that maybe we'll make a guild for Horde and guild for Alliance, so that way we can still be under the same banner, but we'll have, we'll be able to invite each other after that until they're talking about cross-faction guilds, but that might be next expansion, so who knows. I would like that to happen, but we'll see. It's been something that a lot of people have been asking for, and it would help with our recruitment process, especially since our server has been starting to dwindle with guilds and people, so we're having a harder time finding people to replace. We've been trying to find people. We're trying to find someone to replace some of our people who are missing. We're like missing a healer for the time being, I think. We need a mage, and a lot of other fun stuff. I'm not going to tell you what guild I am, and so you guys can join if you guys are playing around, because I don't know you guys, and I want to spend time with my friends, and I don't want people to find out who I am. Only the people who I play with know about what I'm doing. My guild leader, she especially knows what I'm doing. I told her that I would talk about what we do from time to time, and she seemed to be okay with it. As long as I don't drag her name through mud, I think she'll be okay with it. But yeah, I'm going to actually stop right here because I think the groceries are about at the front door. I think I hear a car. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!